everybody. Hi.
You look amazing.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you. You're awesome. Did you enjoy the Spirit Tunnel?
Well,
Chelsea?
I have to be honest with you guys. I was really nervous about the Spirit Tunnel.
Really?
I'm a white Jew. So my rhythm is not where it should be. And you can't learn rhythm. I've tried. And I can't dance. I mean, I can't sing either, but dancing is really hard. When people start dancing at parties, I like have to back away because I don't want anyone to see how bad of a dancer I am.
No.
It's really bad and it's embarrassing. So when they said that I was gonna do this, I've seen this online. I saw Michelle Obama do it, and I was like, I hope that doesn't happen to me. And then they said, no, it does. Everybody does it, and I'm like, oh no. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna embrace it and walk as fast as I can before anybody expects a dance move.
But you don't need a dance move. Like,
I know, I did something that I felt like clicked, and there was only one move, and then I was like, now go.
and then you ran?
And then I was like, that's it, go, run towards the stage, yes. But it's a beautiful tradition for regular people. Yeah,
You did good. I love the head nod.
Yeah, I don't know, I need someone, like,
Yay!
there we go.
We just want to celebrate you.
I know, thank you.
This is your third time coming to the
I
Jennifer
always come
Hudson
here, I
Show.
love you.
We love you. And you stay having a lot going on. You hosted the Critics' Choice Awards, you released your 7th book, and you turned 50.
I know.
Wow. What is love? What goals do you have now?
I guess I'll become a mother.
No, really?
No, I'm kidding. No. At 50, that baby would have a lot of problems. No, what am I gonna do now? I don't know. I love. I'm pretty happy in my life.
Yes.
Like, I'm pretty excited that I am 50 and that I'm this vibrant and that 50 now means something much different than when my father was 50.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When my father was 50, I was like, well, he may as well be dead, you know? But now, like, in the way we're living, 50 years later, I'm like, well, wait, 50 isn't so bad. I'm feeling frisky. I'm having lots of fun. Yeah. I'm pretty happy and I'm pretty grateful that I learned about being grateful. You know what I
love
mean?
that, yes.
I didn't know about that. Like, I didn't practice like gratitude. I always thought like gratitude and energy and journey, like shut up, you know? But people like who talked about that stuff I thought were really annoying. And then I got to an age where I started to understand how powerful it is to be grateful.
Yeah.
You know, when you are grateful, more good things come your way.
Ooh.
And you're positive, more positivity comes your way.
Chelsea, you preaching
Yeah,
today.
I know. This is my sermon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
You make me can't wait to turn 50 then.
I know. How old are you?
I'm at the age where you forget how old you are. Hold on, I'm 40. I think I'm 43.
43. 43
Yes.
and 44 are always a little bit fuzzy. Do you know what I
See?
mean?
Well, you
something-
forget.
Yeah, there is something weird about those two ages. You kind of do forget, but you're not going to forget when you turn 50.
No, I'm not.
No, because everyone asks you about it. And I wanted to like think of like, oh, what's a good way to describe it? Because, you know, everyone's asking me, what is it like to, and you hear people being like, I feel better than ever. And it's like, I do, but that's a kind of a lame answer. And I think one of the coolest things that I've heard one of my friends who's 50 say is, when you're growing up and you're in your 20s and your 30s, you're always worried about what you did or what you're gonna do. Like, you're always worried about the past or you're always worried about the future. But once you're 50, you don't have time for that nonsense. You're just right in the moment.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So that's the age.
Yeah, I think so.
I love that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, when is it gonna kick in?
Yeah, and I'm having a lot of sex. So that's...
Yeah, I heard you're having like a sexual awakening. What is that? Explain that.
Thank you for your support, audience. I appreciate that. It's great, you know? What is it, a sexual awakening? I don't know if it's a sexual awakening or if it's just growing up and growing out and realizing, like, everyone is lucky to be, like, anyone I'm intimate with or in a relationship with, they're lucky. To me, you're lucky. I know my value.
Yes.
I know my worth, and you're welcome to get to be around me.
Yes!
You know?
We want all of that! Oh, guys! Woo! Do speaking today. Tell us about this new fabulous book, I'll Have What She's Having, and it's dedicated to flight attendants?
Oh, yes. It's dedicated to flight attendants anywhere. Do we have any flight attendants in the audience?
Any.
Okay. Oh, it sounds like a gay man. Because we know there are very few straight male flight attendants. Flight attendants who I feel like are sisters in the sky. They are our sisters in the sky, including the gay ones. And I have been on so many plane rides, as I'm sure everyone here has. I travel for a living because I tour doing stand-up and all the things I do. And I have just seen the way those people have been abused, have been treated, have been disrespected, and I just feel like they need our love and respect.
I love that. Woo, that is true.
I mean, they dealt with a global pandemic. They deal with people and their feet. You know, people who think that they can walk to the bathroom and carpeting with barefoot on planes. People bring clams on planes, you know. I saw somebody bring oysters on a plane and they had the oyster shell and then put them in a bag and then gave it to the flight attendant. I was like, that guy should be arrested. Yeah. You know what I mean? They have to have rules about decorum and behavior on airplanes. You can't just put your foot up and start picking your toe. You can't do that. It actually should be illegal. And, you know, if I had more time on my hands, I would pursue it legally.
Better tell it. Oh my goodness. Okay, talk to me about Jane Fonda. She called you out one time.
Jane Fonda, this is a story in the book. Jane Fonda, I was very badly behaved. This was many years ago, because of course I would never behave badly now, at one of her parties. And she called me over to her house in a very stern way. Like, she summoned me to her house and was like, you acted terribly at my party. I don't know what you were on or what you were doing, but you insulted a lot of people and you were very rude. And I need to know why you would have even come to my party if you were gonna act like that. And I was, you know, mortified. Like, Jane Fonda, the person I probably respect the most in this world, calling me out like that was just absolutely crushing. But in that moment, I understood that what she was doing was such a sisterly thing to do. You know, being a woman to another woman, that I was able to receive it because through the mortification and the embarrassment, what I really heard was, I care about you, I love you. She could have never spoken to me again. She didn't have to take the time to have me come over to dinner to yell at me. She didn't have to do that. And she changed my life because she did that, because I wasn't ever gonna piss her off again, you know?
Yes, you're someone we all look up to and love, so I wanna hear all about this from you. In your book, you talked about where you bombed bad on the stage and you thought your career was over. Like, how did you handle that?
Oh, okay, so this is a story when I was like in my late 20s. First, I was kind of like coming up in stand-up, and I was going to the Montreal Comedy Festival, which is like the standard, like, of saying you're about to like get seen by the industry, right? So I was going to this New Faces night, and there was a lot of buzz around me because I was this new kind of it girl. And so I had this big night where everyone in the industry was there, and I was cocky. I was ready. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna crush it. And I bombed badly. Like I got off to the wrong start. My tempo was off. My jokes didn't land. I got nervous because then the reaction was bad. And it just was like it was a cyclone. And it was bad. And I walked home that night. Zach Galifianakis, the comedian, walked me to my hotel room, and he's like, there's nothing I can do to help you at this point. He said, you just have to kind of sit in it and deal with it. And I thought my life was over. You know, I was young. It was my first big opportunity, and I blew it. And I was devastated. And the next night I had another show. No one came. And I had a great set that night, of course, but no one was there. And I came back to LA, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know, I'm gonna have to become a crossing guard or something. Like, what are my skill sets? You know, I don't have that many. All I can do is talk, really. And there was one executive. Her name was Grace Wu. I don't know if she's still at NBC, but she was at NBC, and she wasn't at my showcase. And she called my manager, and she's like, I love Chelsea. I want to see her perform this week. And they set up a showcase for me the next night. So the one executive that wasn't at the show where I bombed came and saw me, and I killed it. And I landed it. And it was like, And the very next day, I got a call from the president of NBC. They were giving me my own development deal for my own TV show.
Whoa.
After. And
Oh my goodness.
And it was like, it was within 72 hours, what I thought was like my life and my career being over before it began. Within 72 hours, my life was beginning again. And I tell the story in the book because you don't have to be a celebrity or in the spotlight to know what it feels like to have a big disappointment or a big failure, but how quickly things can change in your favor, and to always remember that, like, just look for the rainbow because it's coming your way. You know what I mean?
You see? Ooh.
So I love that because, you know, we all get, so sometimes you just give up, or you're so close to giving up, and you just like, you never know what's right around the corner. And I love sharing that story with people, especially with people who are starting out, you know? Because it's like, you're gonna fall, and then you get back up and just kind of keep trucking, and somebody's gonna see you. And all you need is one person to say yes. Yeah.
Yes, and not giving up. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, for sharing it with us, because weren't we inspired by that, y'all? Oh, my goodness. You're always so honest and open, and I see you've been really honest about your quest for love and being open to that. So where are you on your journey?
I'm seeing someone right now, and when I was a little girl, I thought, I want to grow up to be the kind of woman that has lovers all over the world. And I still would like that for myself. Like, you know, just kind of like a port for every storm, kind of, you know? Not like, but like, I want a man in Europe, and one in Malibu, and one maybe in Florida. Not Florida. But you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just like a lot of variety, and it makes you feel alive, and it's like, why not? I don't have any children or real responsibilities. I get to decide what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I feel like more women, you know, are starting to realize, like, it's not just like, not everything has to be the end-all love story that we're sold about finding your Prince Charming. That's wonderful if you do, but it's also wonderful to have several different loves in your life. And that's what I'm talking about, okay?
What she said. What would you consider a red flag, like when dating?
With men?
Yeah.
Oh, whistling. I don't like whistling. I don't like when men walk around whistling. What is that about? Why are they whistling? What is that? It feels so dumb when I hear people with, it's like, why? So that's a big turnoff, whistling, and a red flag, in my opinion. I don't like men who are scared of dogs. If a man is scared of a dog, it's like, get away from me. I don't want to have anything. Unless you were attacked by a wolf, I don't want to hear about you being scared of a dog.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just man up to the situation. That's a red flag, because I love dogs and they're in my life, and you better love them too.
I love that.
Other red flags, you know, toes, feet. I have a situation with that. Dental hygiene.
Okay.
Dental hygiene. I want everyone to be flossing all the time.
Yes, floss.
People who don't floss, I'm like, that has to start
Can you go back to
happening.
the toes?
Yeah, toes.
What do they need?
They have to be in a row. They can't, and I know certain people have problems with their feet, and I probably will get one karmically for talking about this, but like, I can't have toes going in, one making a right and the other's making a left. I can't have
It's
that.
a wrap.
The double decker, one over the other, you have to get that fixed. You know what I mean? Adult braces, I don't love that. I don't love that. I feel like at a certain point, just stick with what you've got, you know? The list goes on
She's
and on
going
and
down
on.
the list. She still said, okay, well, you got to talk to us about this comedy special on Netflix, The Feeling. Tell us about that.
My new special is, it's called The Feeling, and I named it The Feeling because when I was a little girl, I would go to sleepovers with other little girls, and we would get the feeling. And the feeling was us rubbing our vaginas over our clothing. So it wasn't, you can play this on daytime television, don't worry, I know how to frame it. We've all done it, so don't act shocked, okay? Everyone here experimented when you were a child. And what girls did when I was 9 years old, you can sit as far back as you want. Get comfortable.
I'm just listening. Yes, ma'am.
When I was 9 years old, my friend Jody was like, come over, everyone's coming over, and then we're gonna get the feeling. And I didn't know, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get the feeling, of course, we'll get the feeling, like, of course. I didn't know what it was, but I'm like, I'm fast, I'll figure it out, you know? And I got there, and I didn't get out of my sleeping bag and up until 7:30 the next morning, when my friend Jody's mother tapped me on the shoulder and said, we need you to leave. So my special is called The Feeling because that was a big part of my childhood.
Chelsea, hello, everybody.